Welcome back, everybody. It is day 3, and the time is up for our next session to help you find investors and distribution channels for your consumer AR apps all over the globe with our next speaker, Simon from Nonvoice. So this is a pre-recorded session. However, hopefully he will be jumping in to do any Q&A live with us after the recording is done. So if you have any questions, feel free to start dropping them in the comments on the side here. So I'm just going to queue up the video here. Just give me a few moments. Remember to hit those Hi everybody, welcome back. I'm so excited to have Simon here, and he's coming with a really amazing opportunity for app developers to really get their apps in AR all over the globe. So Simon, welcome. I would love for you to tell people a little bit more background about yourself, and then we'll jump into what you're doing with Nonvoice.
Certainly, Cassie, it's my pleasure. Thank you. So I'm Simon Buckingham from Nonvoice. I'm in Florida in the US. I'm originally from the UK. I've been in the US about 15 years. Nonvoice is an agency that represents app developers from around the world. So we have a team of about 70 people in about 50 countries. And what they're doing is they're looking for the best apps, the best innovation, and they're then aggregating it together into a portal that we call Nonvoice Alive, that we license to telcos and mobile phone vendors all over the world. So currently, as of today, we have 8 telcos in 8 different countries, reaching about 250 million people, aggregated together. And then what we do, the developers really need commercialization, monetization. As every AR developer out there knows, it's hard to get awareness. It's hard to build awareness of your apps, get into those app store algorithms, get that promotion from Google or Apple. So what we're trying to do is accelerate that process, because day one the app launches, it can launch on Nonvoice Alive at the same time, and we can give it a good push and hopefully get you that awareness and that return on investment that the best innovation deserves. In addition to that, half of all the apps that we have on Nonvoice Alive, we actually funded through our ventures division. So we have a fund of our own to help developers bring their ideas to market. Because the worst thing is to have a great idea and not be able to create it. And then the worst thing is to create something and then see it languish. So what we're trying to do as Nonvoice is address both of those issues so that the best AR developers from anywhere in the world can be successful. We try to do that, Cassie, and hopefully we will succeed more and more and more over time.
That's awesome. So I saw recently you had announced a partnership with True Digital in Thailand.
Yes.
So
one of the
I'm so excited. I love that. I love it.
Yeah, that's one of the 8 telcos that we work with, True, in Thailand. So we use AR as a way to demonstrate 5G, because we actually think that augmented reality is a killer application for 5G, both on the consumer side and on the enterprise side. So what we're looking to do is bring those multiplayer AR games, bring those AR education apps, bring those services to the market to get people actually to upgrade their phones, their data plans to 5G. So that's why it's a pleasure to work with you, and it's a pleasure to work with your developers, because what we have is this distribution network of telcos and partners, but what we don't do is develop the apps ourselves. We're not an app developer, so we need to, work with the ecosystem to find that innovation, source it from all over the world, Singapore and many other places, and then bring that, and then essentially put the great content together with the great distribution, and we get great revenues. And the idea is everybody goes home happy at the end of the day.
So you talked about the fund, and maybe we'll talk about that a little bit later. But can you walk me through? Let's say I'm an app developer, have a small team. We have an app. What is the process for us to work with you?
So we look at two things. We look at the product and we look at the people. We like to work with great products and great people. Sometimes we find great products, but we don't going to enjoy talking every day to the people, and maybe they're not going to want to listen to us. So we kind of try to find good people, good products, and then we fund them, and then we help them. So our process is that we provide some pre-seed funding to develop the concept and start working. That is a 90-day process. So at the end of the 90 days, we then know enough about the product and the people that we would then be ready to commit a larger amount of money. So, we're funding apps that won't see the light of day until December of next year, and when I think about it, I'm wondering, what's going to happen tomorrow. So it's hard to think, what's going to happen 12 months ahead. But with some of the innovative technology, with great storytelling, it takes that amount of time to start. So we love pre-seed. We love to be the first people in. We love to help a developer that's got one great customer but wants to get, the next 10. It's hard to go from 1 to 10. And we help people do that with our global distribution and business development network. So if you've got a great product and a great team, we would love to talk to you, because we have that built-in monetization as well. So from our point of view, not only can we help you with some money, but I think we can also help you with some actual commercial opportunities as well. So we consider ourselves, Cassie, smart money.
Okay.
Whether we are or not, I don't know. Sometimes I wonder how smart we are, but here we are, and the reality is our developers are all doing pretty well. But, so many AR developers I talk to, they've got these concepts that they want to develop, but and sometimes they've actually developed the idea, but they won't launch it because they haven't got the marketing resources to promote it. That makes me really sad, because ultimately that innovation shouldn't be sitting on the shelf. Let's get it out to the marketplace. Let's, build it up. Let's get it out there. Let's see it succeed. And let's develop those concepts from paper, into proper apps. And that way, I think we can move this industry ahead quicker.
Fantastic. Now, since you're launching in different markets, so you have partnerships with many different markets or countries, that tends to have a couple of complications baked into it in terms of localization, language. So what have you seen to be other challenges in that space as well? And how do you overcome that?
So consumer AR services, we think, scale quite nicely. We're in 8 countries. with exactly the same portfolio of apps. You know, give or take maybe one or two that will work in one market, and or ones that we've sourced specifically for a particular country. Most of the apps are across, you know, Europe, the Middle East, North America, Asia. We don't have anything in Latin America or Africa at this time. But, you know, consumer scales, that's the good news. Yeah. Enterprise stuff, as you know, is very, very difficult to take even from one enterprise to another within the same market. So that's a little bit more complicated. But we localize not only the Nonvoice Alive portal, but we actually localize all of the app instructions as well. So all of the app developers have given us a text file with all of the instructions and the pop-ups that come, you know, hold your phone here, scan your phone, you know, whatever the instructions are, because we think it's very important that those instructions are translated for each market. So we got all that text, and then we have the local representatives in each market, and they help us on the translation where we need it. So ultimately, you're right, the language localization, the pricing varies. You know, I could be anything from 50 cents per subscriber per month to $25 per subscriber per month for essentially the same bundle of services based on, you know, average revenue per user in those markets, purchasing power, etc. So the pricing will also vary on a market by market basis, as well as the language. But the beauty is we built this platform to scale. So if you give us one app with we have a proprietary Nonvoice API. It's a very simple thing, and all it does is authenticate that the person is a developer within the Nonvoice Alive portal. So what that means is that everything is integrated together, and you unlock all of the apps with the same user credentials. So what happens is the developer is interested in having that additional promotional and marketing and commercial opportunity. They implement our API, and then they become part of the bundle, and then we launch them in all of those markets and all of those other markets to come. That's kind of how our process works.
Fantastic. To me, this sounds like this is like the dream in a way, because you're solving so many problems for the app developers, but not only just for the app developers. I know from working, you know, in the 5G space in just the past year that one of the biggest things for the telcos is the content. They need the content. So you are solving this chicken and egg sort of problem here, which is fantastic.
Yes, I think that's why we've had a lot of interest from telcos, because you know, you mentioned it, you know, at the end of the day, there's all these AR glasses, and every day we hear about a head-mounted display, and, you know, there's this and there's that. There's so many announcements, but ultimately the developers are left to, you know, create content for each of these platforms. Well, as a neutral intermediary, what Nonvoice tries to do is support all of those different platforms. And then when a telco in the Middle East turns on, you know, the N-Real AR glasses, say, from China, that content is automatically available as part of the Alive portal. So ultimately, they get a installed a content library for every device that they launch, and every consumer that buys a device is going to get a library of content, that they can use. So again, it is a chicken and egg problem, because no one will buy those devices without content.
Yeah.
And until a lot of people buy those devices, no one wants to create the content, other than the developers that just like doing, technology really just to, be at the leading edge. But we don't want the developers. That's why we call it alive. We want to make sure that it's alive. We want to make sure that the developer can earn money, because so many AR developers have, been too early, or they've been, laboring, away, creating experiences, and maybe, a platform like this may help them to, to commercialize some of their apps and their ideas. So if we can do that and move the AR ecosystem forward, then I think it's a dream come true, Cassie.
Yes, absolutely. Now I want to ask you, you're seeing a lot of the apps coming in. What are some of the, I wouldn't say most popular, but the ones that seem to be most widely used?
So it's a great question. I think that esports seems to be incredibly popular. We have some esports apps that turn essentially games into competitions and leaderboards and automated prize pools and things like that. So esports is particularly popular, especially in Asia, Middle East. So yeah, I like esports. The thing that is the hottest thing right now is what we call NFTs, or non-fungible tokens. So within Nonvoice Alive, you actually get an NFT every week for being part of the service. So, we did a deal with Warner Brothers to launch the Matrix Resurrections, which is basically the new Matrix movie. If you remember Keanu Reeves and those, people, exactly, you nailed it. Yeah. Like most things in Hollywood, they're bringing them back again for another spin. And the Matrix 4 or Matrix Resurrections is actually being released in Thailand on the 16th of December of this year. And we have got all these NFTs, all these limited edition NFTs, and you get one free just for trying out Nonvoice Alive. So what has happened is all these people are getting on TikTok and the social networks and saying, look what I got, I got this really cool NFT. So right now, because an NFT can be anything, whether it's a video or an audio file or a clip of some sort, NFTs are very, very popular, and something that even an augmented reality designer or creator or artist, they can actually package their content into the NFT, mint them through somebody like us, and actually create a revenue stream from them. So yeah, esports, NFTs, the AR games, augmented reality games, are very popular, especially multiplayer. If you and I are going to play, basketball and shoot hoops, or if we're going to play air hockey against each other, you really need that low latency environment, what we call mobile edge computing, or ultra wideband 5G. You need that strong 5G connection, because otherwise you're going to get delays in the gameplay, and you're going to get a blocky experience. So again, those types of things really show off the need for 5G.
Truly amazing. Now, I think anybody that's watching this, they'll probably want to reach out to you right away and sign up and get involved. What is the best way for people to get involved and start the process of working with Nonvoice?
Well, if you go to nonvoice.com and click on the developer tab, you'll see all the developers that we're working with, both consumer and enterprise. We have videos of all of the apps that we're working on. And we also have PowerPoint presentations and things like that. So that's a great resource. And there's a form you can complete as well as a developer to submit your interest. But other than that, just reach out to me on LinkedIn, Simon Buckingham Nonvoice LinkedIn, or follow our LinkedIn page, because we keep that pretty well updated. And we'll be delighted, Cassie, to work with innovative AR developers, large and small, wherever you are, anywhere in the world. Bring your innovation to us and we'll try to distribute it for you and monetize it for you, and help you create a business from it.
Beautiful. Okay, before we go, I want to ask you one last question. Is there something that is in your mind, in your vision of the future, that maybe other people might think is crazy?
I think that the crazy ideas are there for the app developers. The real innovation comes from, you know, the coders, the designers, the people in the community. I see myself as a distributor of that innovation, so I wouldn't want to claim that, you know, I'm going to create those ideas. I think that that is for the wonderful AR developers that are out there to come up with those ideas, Cassie, and then I'm going to try and take them and get them marketed, get them deployed, get them monetized. So probably not. I can't think of anything too crazy that I would come up with, but I do believe that great things are going to happen in 2022 and beyond, and the AR space is just getting started, and we hope that we can bring some value to the market, and we look forward to partnering with everybody and hearing from you and working with you.
Beautiful. I think that was the best answer I've ever had from any of the speakers that I've talked to in the summit. So again, Simon, thank you so much.
It's my pleasure, Cassie. Thank you. Take care.
Alrighty, hope you really enjoyed that one. As mentioned, Simon says you could reach out to him directly. You can check out the website and see if it's something for you. Now, just want to close this session. We're going to be jumping in again in about 15 minutes here with Tano Bekwaba, talking all about his play to earn NFT metaverse platform. We'll see you later.